Hello guys, welcome. How are you doing? If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me, and then we begin our discussion for today. This is going to be a very brief discussion, and I want to see if you can hear me. Please let me know in the comment section whether you can hear me or not. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about some key things and updates about visa interviews or F1 visas and especially, yes, F1 visas or people who are traveling to study in the United States. Now, as I said, it's going to be very brief, about 10 to 15 minutes, and what I'm going to share is going to be important. So let's get right into the video. Now, recently, we've seen that most people go for the interview and they get their visas denied. And many of the people do not know why. They seem not to understand why they get the visas denied. But from our interactions with students, our interactions with people that we coach, and those who get denied, or people who come back to us, or who send us emails and talk to us about that their denial, we are constantly seeing some kind of trend. And that is the update we want to give to you and help you overcome that. Help you get aware of some of these things before you go for your interview. I've noted something down, so I'm going to read from it. Now, the first thing you must be aware is that when you go for your visa interview, you must prepare to answer any question. We've realized that now mock interview is becoming popular. Unlike previous time when most of us were preparing to attend or come for US visa interviews, we didn't have a session where people can actually speak to us and rehearse our answers with us. Of course, we had the opportunity to prepare ourselves, but we didn't have that, what we call mock interview. And we've seen that now, that concept of mock interview has become so popular among students that they actually forget to prepare well. And I will explain. And they focus on mock sessions instead of focusing on building a structure and building a very good story that meets the expectations and the visa rules. Because they read, or we have access to so many transcripts, and I have already said that about 80% of transcripts are not true because people write the transcript, they refine their transcript. They don't truly, if I say they are not true, what I mean is that about 80% of transcripts do not truly represent what happened in the interview room. So we cannot all the time base our answers, our preparation on people's transcripts. And that is the common mistakes that people are doing. They are basing their preparation on transcript of people. So when they go for the interview, they constantly see trend. They ask, why do you want to study this program? Who is paying for your studies? Why did you choose this school? And what are your plans after school? And majority of the people focus all their attention on this. So when they have the opportunity to go for mock interview session, they rehearse and practice over and over for these questions and answers. But they get to the interview room and the controller asks them questions they were never ready for. And it doesn't mean the question the controller asked them, they had no answer for or they couldn't answer. But it was because they didn't expect the question. They go into the interview room with their own pre-rehearsed questions they expect the controllers to ask them. Because they have gone for series of mock interviews, and in the mock interviews, they've told them that they will ask you this question, they will ask you this question, and when they ask you this question, say this, and when they ask this, say this. So they go to the interview room expecting that the controller is going to ask them the question the way they prepare for the mock interview. And it is common even in examination. When we were writing BEC and WASI, we had a lot of opportunities to write mocks. And sometimes we focus on attention, oh, this question will come. We get into the interview room and the question do not come. And that really affects us. It throws us off. So what I'm saying is that most people prepare for specific questions and answers, which is okay, which is the right way to go. But they don't prepare for whatever. They don't prepare for any questions. They only prepare for specific questions. So my concern is that when you go, make sure that you are ready to answer any question. I have seen students who prepared so well, and when they went for the interview, the question the controller asked them was, "What will you do during the summer?" And because they had not planned, they have not thought of this, they couldn't answer. It's not that they don't know the answer to the question. They could have answered if the controller gave them time to reflect. But because the controller didn't have time to give to them, and it was a question they didn't expect, the controller rejected their visas. So this is what you need to do. It is okay to go for mock session. It is okay to prepare, but make sure that your preparation meets the requirement of the visa. You don't prepare specifically on specific questions. You prepare on the expectations. And the expectations are that you are going to study, you have the money, and you return to your home country. The questions will not necessarily be, why did you choose this school? Who is funding you? What are your plans after school? The question may be, what did you do during your undergraduate studies? The question may be, why do you think this program will be useful for you? The question may be, why is your organization sponsoring you? Has this organization sponsored another person before? There may be so many questions that the consular can ask you that you may not be prepared for. Some people go for the interview and the first question is, why is a specific information not on their I-20? And it's not that they cannot answer. It's not that they don't have good reason. But because they didn't prepare, they are not able to give good response. So please, focus on building or preparing for visa interview in ways that meet the structure, that meet the expectations of the consular. Don't use transcripts. Don't use people's experiences to prepare for your interview. You can infer, you can take inspirations, or you can listen, read, and know what people are saying about the process in order to aid in your preparation. But don't go and allow somebody's transcript to be the basis of your preparation. Thank you. Now, the next important thing you should be aware is that the consulars are aware of all the tricks. And if I say they are aware of all the tricks, I'm going to explain. What it means is that they know about 90% of the way we prepare, they know and they are aware. And they can easily tell when we are lying. They can easily, sometimes consulars grant visas not because they believe that the applicant performed. They grant visas because the person, even though the consular believed the person was not being genuine, the consular decided to grant the visa. What I mean is that even when you go for the interview, right, some people try to be smart. And it is okay to be smart because being smart is important to getting your visa. But in being smart, they fail to be genuine. For example, you go for the interview and the consular asks you, who is funding you? And you tell the consular, your uncle, your mother, your parents are sponsoring you. Your mother has a gas company, a real estate, an oil business. Your mother or whoever is sponsoring you trade, import and export. And the person is sponsoring you. And the consular asks you, what do you do? You are saying that your mother earns over $50,000 or $60,000 a year. The consular asks you, what do you do? You say, oh, I am volunteering at a certain NGO. How much are you paid? I don't receive salary. I receive some stipend. This does not make sense. If your mother, your father, your parent, or your uncle could be that rich, with your background in accounting, with your background in psychology, with your background as an undergraduate student, why are you volunteering for a certain NGO for nothing? It is not an African. It is not something that any African family will do. My parents will not allow me to volunteer for a certain NGO for nothing, right? Some people go for the interview, and I'm explaining being smart, and I'm explaining what I mean by saying the consulars are aware of all the tricks. Some people go for the interview, and They are asked, who is sponsoring you? My uncle is sponsoring me. Okay, are you married? Oh, I'm married. I have 2 kids. Okay, how old are you? I'm 38. Right? What do you do? I have my own company. So you could see that it doesn't mean what you are saying is not true to you, but the consular cannot believe that you are married, you have a family, you have a business, and your uncle is sponsoring you. Your friend is sponsoring you. Your in-law is sponsoring you. You know, this is a process that in your own way, you think you are being smart, but the consulars are aware that you are lying. I'm not saying that these people cannot sponsor you, but I'm saying that sometimes the circumstances around the sponsorship and the way we approach the preparation to our interview makes certain things questionable. Right? So be genuine, even in your smartness. Be genuine, be realistic. And don't think that the consulars do not know what is going on. Don't think that the consulars do not know the cultural environment. They don't know the circumstances. Don't think that the consulars are not aware. Yes, the fact that somebody used that method, that application, that process, and help the person doesn't mean it will help you. And that will bring us to our next important discussion, copy and pasting. Now, we've seen that most people give exactly the same answer and in a similar way for their interview. And sometimes I wonder that whether YouTube videos and online platforms are being helpful to some of our students. Because for some of us, we are really interested. We are genuinely interested in people being successful in the process. So there are times I wonder whether we should continue doing some of these videos, because I feel in a way people don't really get what we mean in the videos, and they take it wrongly, or they approach it wrongly and they get their visas denied. Right? So when you go for your interview and you saw a transcript or you saw a very good video that you like, and in the video we gave examples of how you could answer a question. We are not saying you should copy that example. We are not saying you should exactly copy and paste it and make it your own. No, we are giving you an outline. We are giving you a structure. We are giving you a rubric that will give you an idea of how you can personalize your own answers. So you don't go for the interview, copy and paste, or carry the way somebody answered his or her question to get your visa. So when you review 4 or 5 transcripts recently, they all follow the same pattern. They all follow the same way. I'm going to study this program because I've been working with this organization and I've seen this problem. We are not saying you cannot answer questions like that, but the answers have become too monotonous. The consulars are seeing consistency in responses, and they are like, what is happening? Everybody is giving similar answers in the same structure, and it is because most of you are getting your input from the same source, the same YouTube videos, the same online content, and you are not able to be creative. You are not able to do research. You are not able to think outside the box to know that some of these videos are just outlined. They are just ways to help you think about it. We don't do the videos for you to copy and paste them, because it may work for some people, it may not work for you. So make sure that when you go for the interview, you are genuine. Let your story speak. Let your story come to life. Review transcripts. Go to mock interviews if possible, but be skeptical. Do your own research. Do your own analysis. Ask how much is this a reflection of my own self? Because the consulars are looking for genuine interest. Everybody's uncle is into rare estate business. And I'm like, do people really understand what real estate business means? If you buy and sell land, you are not into real estate. If you have 2 or 3 houses you rent in at Boburushi, you are not into real estate. Everybody's parents or uncle is into import and export. It came to a time everybody's uncle owned a spare parts shop in Abosokan. Like, it doesn't make sense that we are all copying ourselves. We are all presenting the same answers, the same answers. It doesn't make sense. Your father can be a farmer, truly. Your mother can be a baker, truly. Your mother can be a teacher, truly. There are so many ways to go about it, truly. And this is because sometimes most of us are forging documents. Most of us are getting so many unnecessary documents from somewhere. And the only way to counteract, the only way to go about it is to find ways how people presented the same thing and make it our own. And that is not helpful. The effect is that it will get your visa denied. So be aware, be careful that your answers will reflect your own self. Another thing, don't repeat what is already on your I-20. And this is important. This is one of the most important mistakes that people do. One of the things that you should always avoid. Don't repeat what is already on your I-20 and to some extent on your DS-160 form. Now, if you are going for interview in Ghana, be prepared to answer the question, tell me about this program. The narratives have changed. So many students who went for interview recently were asked the first question, tell me about your program. And they go like, oh, this is a 2 years MA, a 2 years master's in psychology program at Ohio University. I'll be studying, I'll be doing a research, 33 credits. All this information the consulars are on the consulars can have. Or the consular asks you, tell me about your school. And they are like, oh, my school is located in Ohio. It has a population of 20,000. It is ranked 5th or 13th in global best school. No, these are facts. You don't repeat facts that consulars can verify. You don't repeat them. Make sure that when the consular asks you questions, you give information that is not on the I-20. He could see that your program is 2 years. He could see that your name is Alfred and Paul. He could see that your program is MSc in finance. He could see that your program is 33 credit, whatever. Don't repeat it. The best you could do, and I tell people, when the consular asks you the first question, tell me about your program. That is the opportunity to get your visa. And all the questions the consulars have asked you in this. So to tell you about, to answer this question, ask yourself, what does the program seek to do? Not the structure of the program. Go to the school's website, look at the program's description, and ask yourself, what does this program seek to do? Every school, every program have a description, an aim, an objective. Every program have an objective. What does the program seek to do? What skills can the program give to the student? We are talking about skills. We are talking about analytical skills. We are talking about research skills. We are talking about practical skills. Those are the things that the consulars are interested. So you can give an example that, oh, this is an MA in theology, of course, and the program is designed to train pastors who are interested in pastoral care and counseling for the elderly. That is the description of the program. And this program is a research-based program, but with the component of practice in a hospital so that students can get practical experience while they are doing their research. Now you are describing specifically the program. You are describing to the consular what your program is. So through that answer, you have been able to explain to the consular that your program, like you have been able to tell the consular what the program can make you become, what the program can give to you. And that information the consular may never know because the consulars do not know all the programs. They don't know theology. A consular who have a background in accounting will not know what is happening in nursing or what is happening in religion or what is happening in cyber security. So when the consular asks you, tell me about your program, he's not asking you to repeat what is on the I-20 to the consular or giving the structure of the program. It's a 2 years program, 36 credit hours, first semester. No. Those things are not important. The consular do not need them. Explain to the consular the objective of the program, the program description. What does the program seek to do? What is the purpose of the program? And what will it do for you? Then you will be able to convince the consular that you are a genuine student. It's not that many of you do not know this. It is because you don't pay attention to this. You follow the same format, you follow the same transcript, you follow the same outline. Somebody said that, oh, the program is 2 years and this and this and that, repeated what is on the I-20 and he got the visa. It doesn't mean you could get the visa. Perhaps the person got the visa because he has strong funding, right? So when you go for the interview and the consular asks you, tell me about the program, about your program, it is a very good time. It is a very good opportunity for you to explain in details the concept, the objectives, the purpose, and specific skills that the program can give you. You can find all this information on the program description section on the school's website. So make sure you check it. Finally, One last thing you should be aware, and many people are getting denied, is changing things without thinking. I'm going to explain. You went for your first interview and you were denied. As soon as you came home after 2 hours, 4 hours, the next day you went to the bank and paid another visa fee. Then you change your sponsor from brother to uncle. You change your school from Ohio to Mississippi. You change your program from accounting to nursing without giving credence, without giving importance to why. Right? So most of you are too quick to change things, are too quick to revise things. And even people change. I have coached people, prepared people for long weeks, giving them structures to the answers and ways they should go about it. They get to the interview and in the queue, somebody enters, gets approved, and come out and they ask what happened. The person said, "Oh, they asked me this question and I said this." And there in the queue, the person changes his answer. The one answer that the person gave to get his visa. You must know that when we appear for the interview, we have different background, we have different story, and people truly do not tell you what happened in the interview room. For some people, they truly do not remember. For some people, they come and polish it. I've always said that when you go for the interview, there are two things. Either you'll be approved or you'll be denied. Now, when you are approved, the excitement is said that you don't even remember the questions they ask you. So when you come, it is when you come that you have gone over the excitement, that you sit down and relax and try to remember the questions that they ask you. One. When you are denied, you get angry, you get anxious, you get worried that you don't even remember the questions they ask you and how you answer them. So you need to take time to reflect. In most cases, when you are denied, you share blame. The controller didn't allow us to speak. He denied everybody in the queue. The controller was not listening to us. He just asked me 2 questions. We don't accept and sit down to tell truly what happened because we want to make our conscience look good. So if you rely on people's response from the interview to build or to prepare, you are going to shoot yourself in the foot. So don't unnecessarily change things without asking, without thinking, because sometimes when you take one thing out, it disjoints your entire story. Finally, many people go to the interview room with anxiousness. They go and they have prepared so well. They've gone through so much in the visa interview process. They spend sleepless nights writing essays, paying money on CV's fee, on visa fee. They spend so much. The little money they earn, they are so diligent and they do so well to save to get to this process. Now they go to the interview room and they black out because they are worried, they are anxious, they are confused. The time that people use to think about, will I be denied, is more than the time they use to prepare. People spend time being anxious than preparing. And of course, we are humans, you can be anxious. Sometimes we are anxious for so many reasons because we've heard that in the Ghana embassy, in the Nigeria embassy, there's one woman at window F. There's one bad man. When you go, he will deny you. So people enter the interview room with so much with so much fear. And I don't know, because as a student, you are entitled to the visa. That's how I see it, because you've paid for it. And the consular is required to serve you. So sometimes, even to some cases, you have to defend yourself. I've seen a student who corrected a consular. That, please, can I please correct something? Can I please make a statement in a very polite way, fighting for his visa? He said, you went to China and you overstayed. Why? He said, no, I didn't overstay. And this is why the consular said in your visa, it states in your passport, it states that you overstayed. I said, yes, this is because of this, because of this, because of this. I have evidence here to show. Please, will you like to see it? Trying to defend, trying to get over all the odds and put himself and put himself out there to get his visa. So the key thing, the thing that we've seen people doing now is fear. Fear is pushing so many out, and it makes sense because We understand. In most places, the economic conditions we are struggling with, we don't have clear plans. We don't have, like, we've spent so much that we cannot afford to fail. Failure is not an option in the process. And as soon as you think that failure is not an option in the process, you will fail. When you give failure a chance, you don't fear. Listen, when you give failure a chance, what I mean is that when you give failure a chance, when you give yourself that, oh, this is 50-50. I have prepared, I've done my best. In this 2-minute interview, I'm going to do my best and leave the rest. After all, the best you can do is to do your best. You cannot influence the consul's decision. No matter what you do, the best you can do is to do your best. So in doing your best, you prepare well, you speak boldly, you speak confidently, you explain yourself, you learn, you read, you ask questions at the right time, ask questions at the right platform. You can use your phone, Google, use your phone, reach out to the school, be confident. There are some people, even when there's a mistake on the I-20, they cannot write an email to the school to tell them that, hey, there's a mistake on my I-20. Please correct it. It is your duty, it is your responsibility to correct an information about you. Do you get me? Correct an information about you. If something happens, you are working with an agent and the agent put in something and you don't believe it, you don't agree, tell the person, correct it. I want it this way. You must own the process. You must own it. If you don't own it, like, you are going to be anxious, anxiety is going to take over. So sometimes I tell people the best way to overcome anxiety and to overcome anxiousness is to think about what you've done yourself. And this is to those who actually went through the process themselves. I know somebody who have been working in the process for the past 2 years. First year, he put in application, he didn't get admission. And second year, he put in application, he got admission, preparing for visa. So if you look at the time you've put in, the money you spent, the process, the letters you've written, the people you wrote to, the people who have been with you in the process, you can't afford to be anxious because the interview is 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes is even more. So at the interview day, you don't have to allow fear. You don't have to allow being worried that you'll be denied to get over you. After all, what can you do? What can you do? So it is important that you think about this thing. We hope that these videos help you, and I pray that most of you can get your visas approved. If you are looking for emergency appointments these days, I'm not sure you are going to get it. So if at this point you have not gotten a date, keep on checking, but open yourself for spring intake. Begin to think about deferment. Begin to think about spring. Give it an option. Or perhaps you didn't even get the school you wanted. Begin to think about reapplying, because the embassy is now tied up, and most people who did emergency from somewhere July, somewhere 5th July coming, have been getting denial because there's no slot. Most of the people who applied for emergency in June had July 24th, August 8th, and all that. So the August date has been is getting closer. Like there are no dates, but it doesn't mean you should give up. It doesn't mean you should panic. Don't cancel your current appointment, go and buy another another visa fee, thinking that they will grant you emergency. It doesn't work that way. You waste money. But try to make provision for what next. Sometimes it is what it is. You can't control it. You have no control. You do your best and you try to allow the system to work, but being proud that you have done your best. That is all that you can do. But always remember that theology is fine. We are finally in August. We are starting our school application. So if you are interested in applying to schools in the US for a brother, for a friend, in Canada, or you want to apply to school in Europe, check the link in the video description. We are going to close the application by tomorrow. So please check the link and fill the form, and we will contact you and help you through the process to apply to schools that you need. Thanks for your time, and I hope I can see you. If you have any question, send us an email or check our website, www.beitlamardedu.com. We have our WhatsApp number, we have our contact, our email, our Telegram group, and we have a lot of resources that can help you. God bless you, and let us know your thoughts in the comment. Please share, like, subscribe. Thank you.